And unlike him, I don't wish to be recognized. I don't. Because when you say don't celebrate at all, it's like you wish you were still governed by them. The major stride made is that we are able to mismanage ourselves. We are able to mismanage ourselves. We are making our own mistakes. That's the major stride.
So the colonizers let us to mismanage ourselves.
They let us alone. I have had the young people growing say, please give me a chance to make my own mistakes. So we have made our own mistakes, and we don't have them to blame anymore. I think if by this time we still blame the colonial masters for what we are going through, then we have a problem by ourselves. 63 years. The majorly what's been registered, if you talk about what's been registered, yes, we have survived. We have survived 63 years by ourselves.
I think you're just being cynical in calling them achievements.
I'm being realistic. That's what it is. We have survived by ourselves 63 years. Out of 63 years, NRM has ruled us 40 years. The setbacks registered, one would say, are majorly as a result of the instabilities that we have had. When you study our history, the common factor within the instabilities we have had, the players are almost the same. When President Museveni speaks about his life, we'll talk about his involvement in national issues from the 1970s. He says in 1970, he refused to be ruled by Idi Amin and then chose to go in exile to fight the regime. When you read their books, they did a lot of mayhem to be named onto the governments then. So what we are, that's what we are. Lots of things that forced our forefathers to fight against the colonizers still exist. Most of them still are, except that now there's been change of guards. It's not them now anymore, it is us. So that's where we are. I was thinking through, when you invited me today, I was thinking first, like, okay, what have we been? Economically, what have we been and what are we now? Then during that time, we had the major cash crops I was thinking about. Even when President Museveni came, he said, gone are the days when we shall sing about the 3 C's and the 3 T's. I was like, okay, leave alone Uganda. Let me speak about my Butambala. What do we have there? You see, until when you dissect this to the smallest unit, you cannot understand it. What do you have in Butambala? What? Coffee only, nothing. The next thing we have is a Mailonji. That's all we have. So
at least you have something.
It's been outlawed. We are surviving on the same small section of the law, but was outlawed. So to me, 63 years down the road, until we drop the chest thumping, say it's us, and we come together. And I have heard him talk about the national unity. Doesn't become a song until we realize that we actually need each other. We have a problem. You know, you cannot solve a problem until you have realized that you have a problem. We sit on a round table as nationals. I had someone today say he doesn't like Uganda. He doesn't like Uganda and he would not like it. Sagala siyangera sija kuchagala mpaka Museveni against. I heard someone say like, but let's talk about this country. Eh? So where is the patriotism we're talking about? If we've gone to the extent of going to schools and teach people about patriotism, love your country, don't teach me how to by love and say you love. No, I love as a result of things that have happened to me.
Thank you very much. Honorable Ssemuju, 63 years down the road, is there a cause for celebration? And where is it?
But do we really need to celebrate? Celebrate what? What have we achieved? Nothing. The guy has been here for 40 years. He has just eaten our future. Our present, our future, our kids' future, and our kids' future. So we have to fight so hard to really reinstate what we must have in this country. And really put the systems that will work for us, work for every Ugandan to achieve their main goals. How are we going to achieve the Ugandan dream? How? With all this governance where they are only catering for the few, where they are overtaxing us, where they are not respecting us as Ugandans, as the people of value in this country. So really we've gained nothing, because General Museveni is not thinking of putting in place public services. He hates them. He only talks about Akange, Akange. But how can you work for Akange without public services, without schools, without hospitals, without roads? How will you work for Akange? He is just jealousy. He doesn't want to see Ugandans prosper. He don't want to see anyone chase their dreams, and chasing the Ugandan dream and one really succeeds in life. Doesn't want to see that. And if we don't change this government, we will never achieve what we want to achieve.
The country called independent Uganda.
I think I reflect the years, the time when I was growing up. You had one television station, radio station. At that time, we were sort of a nation because we were fed by one source of information. So because you want to listen to Radio Uganda, you listen to all the speeches, there will be one agenda. The same applies to many other national functions, whether it is budget reading. The birth of FM stations and social media that are providing an alternative source of information has reduced the importance of these days, because we had no option but to follow. Today, if you went on the street, I think there will be fewer people who are following even the events in Kolo itself. Part of the reason I listen to the president, one, I am a leader, maybe you're going to debate the speech in parliament, maybe I'm going to be invited to the front and to debate it. But I think more than 90% of the country are not bothered. They don't even follow. If you ask them, they don't even know what Museveni said at Kololo. So that's where we are as a country. I have visited some other country. I was in Ghana. For them, independence is still meaningful. You will see a whole country gearing up. But the failure of the governments we have had today, I was in South Sudan in 2011 when that country was being born. The celebration that preceded the day itself, 2 days, people are on the street because they wanted self-determination from Khartoum. One time I interviewed the late Abu Mayanja, and he told me the day Uganda got independence, the euphoria in town, the excitement. So that excitement has gone. Part of the reason it has gone, Aisha spoke about it, 73% of our years as a nation, we've been under one government, we've been under one president, Yoweri Museveni. And I had an opportunity to discuss this with him when we were on a talk show. The point I guess I made, people are not congratulating Ugandans, they are congratulating Museveni. So this is about him. So it's not about the country, it's not about the population. So because of the state capture, the population don't see any value in being independent, especially because majority, if you look at the demography, the other day I told you 31 million, which is 71% of Ugandans are below the age of 29. those who are below the age of 40 should be about 80 something. So they have known Museveni. They are not there when we are attaining independence. All they have known is Museveni. So all their disappointments about Museveni are also disappointment about the country itself. The other day when we were discussing here, I told you now have 170,000 Ugandans in Saudi Arabia, population bigger than Aisha's district, which is 140,000. So those people who are working as maids, as askaris in a foreign country, that's where the opportunity is. So which country do you want them to love? Is it Saudi Arabia that has offered them some economic refugee status, or Uganda where they ran from? So the whole idea of independence, self-determination, people wanted to be free, they wanted to determine their own affairs, but they have not participated in determining their own affairs since the first government of Milton Obote to date.
Well, I will certainly get back to you. Honorable Namayanja, besides the ritual of celebrating every 9th of October, do you take time as NRM, the government in power, to do soul searching on where you stand on matters governance, people's welfare, security, national character, and the economy?
I think I just want to pick it up from where he said as a strategist that there's no need even to celebrate independence. And for me, I think it is shooting ourselves in our own feet. Because independence, first and foremost, should be a day that concerns everyone, every Ugandan. Because those that fought for this independence are not there. Today we are the ones who are there. For them, they played their part. There is that even common view that Uganda got independence on a silver plate. It was never the case. The Ike Musazis, the late Kachama Mayanja, there are people like Semakula, I've forgotten his second name, in 1948. His scholarship in London was terminated for fighting for freedom for Uganda. It was terminated, and then the Bataka had to contribute resources to ensure that it is paid for. So it was not in a silver plate. Those Ugandans at the time played their part. Even
Uganda yafe nfu ekyalina bingi bitulina okukola okugitereeza ate nga si mulimu gwa muntu yenna wabula mulimu gwe nange buvunaanyizibwa bwo gwe nange kubanga bwe tuleka Gen. Museveni n'atukulembera bw'ati n'atufuga bw'ati n'atwala nga bw'atutwala leero tugenda kumaliriza ng'ensi yaffe eweddewo ng'eggwanga lyaffe liweddewo nga tuli mu miranga tuli mu kwekubagiza bwekubagiza buli lunaku olugukedde ng'oyinza ogaa tetuli bannansi ng'oyinza ogaa tetuzaalibwa wano nti n'ensi ggwanga waliwo bannannyiniro bokka abaateekebwawo nti be bannannyiniro ffe abalala situli bannansi tulina okukyusa ebyo byonna nga tujjawo ababbi abaguguze abeeyagaliza bokka abatayagaliza balala